So, you want to know the top 3 basic plugins that I think you absolutely must have in your mixing tools? Keep on watching this video.
Wanna bring my baggage into makes me high every time I think of you. That night got
What's up, everybody? Chris Lee back with another United Destiny Entertainment tutorial video. Hey, check this out. If you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get more videos like this in the future. All right, so what it is, guys, Chris Lee back with another video. Hey, check this out. I'm going to try to keep this really short and simple, but guys, it's going to be very important that you listen to me and understand exactly what I'm trying to tell you. I just want to help you guys out. That's my #1 goal. So guys, check this out. What I'm going to be doing in this video is telling you guys the 3 basic plugins, and I'm talking about basic plugins that I feel that you absolutely must have in your mixing tools. If you have nothing else to go to, these are going to be 3 mandatory plugins that you absolutely must have. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so first and foremost, first off, I'm just going to play a little bit of this mix that I just did for this very talented artist. Her name is Oslin, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description box so you guys can go ahead and go subscribe to her. Guys, go support her. She is a very talented artist. Her sound is amazing, and I really think you guys will like what you hear.
I'ma try to do this right, cause I've been here before. I just wanna make sure I'm not repeating what I've been through. Don't wanna bring my baggage into makes me high every time I think of you. That night, gotta admit I low-key felt your vibe, and I like what you put down. I'm ready for it now.
The #1 plugin that you absolutely need to make your recording sound good if you have nothing else is an EQ, okay? Guys, an EQ is very important in making your mix sound good, and it's just something that you guys need to start getting the habit of using properly when you're recording, okay? The reason why the EQ is going to be very important, and it could be any EQ that you may have, okay? So here I have a EQ right here, okay? So this is one from Waves. It doesn't matter if it's from Waves, Pro Tools, stock, factory. It doesn't matter. Just get you a plug-in. Now, why is the EQ so important? Okay, first and foremost, guys, the EQ is definitely going to help you either boost or take out unwanted frequencies in your recording. I'm going to try to make it basic and simple, okay? So with the EQ, say if your recording or your vocals are lacking some clarity or maybe some mid-range or some body, EQ will be able to accomplish that, okay? So say if you had like some unwanted frequencies, say if you were like you had some muddiness in your recording, then you would use this frequency here, which is a low mid frequency, to be able to go in between certain hertz, like 60 hertz or 250 hertz, which is where a lot of the muddiness of a recording would sit. You would basically use an EQ and you would cut that particular point so that that vocal can pierce through the mix or sit on top of the mix or actually stand out. It will basically thin that vocal out or that instrument or that sound out so it can sit better into the mix, okay? So that's why it's very important. It also helps you to understand the EQ when you have the high frequencies, high mid frequencies, low mid frequencies, and low frequencies. This whole spectrum thing is what we utilize, basically, long story short, of our range of what we hear, okay? If you need your vocals to have a little more clarity or stand out or give it your vocals a little more top end, then when you have an EQ, you can be able to boost whatever's in your high mid frequencies or whatever's in your high frequencies to give it a little more top end or a little more clarity, crisp, pristine type sound. Just to give it some nice top end on your vocals. If you're lacking some mid-range, then obviously doing anything inside of the mid-range would also do that. So you just boost that, and that's going to help you basically get your vocals to sit in the mix better or just give it the clarity that you may be lacking just recording through your microphone, okay? That's the beauty of having an EQ. Plug-in #2 that's going to be very important for you guys to have in your arsenal is a compressor. And the reason why a compressor is going to be so important is because with the compression, guys, just to kind of simplify it and make it to where you can understand it, what a compressor is going to do is when you set a threshold properly with a compressor, what it's basically going to do is take the highest level of your highest vocals in the lowest level of your lowest vocals, and it's going to try to just balance them out to where the highest vocal sounds the same volume as the lowest vocal. So if a vocal is too high, it's going to bring it down to whatever threshold you set it to. And if there's a vocal that's too low, it's going to bring the volume up to that same level to where your vocals are going to be even and consistent all the way through your recording. If something is too high or something is too low, that compression is just going to even them out and make it to where everything sounds more equal and balanced, if that makes sense, okay? So when you're recording vocals, sometimes you can sound too faint, you can sound too far away, and that compressor is going to basically help to bring those vocals up front, more so in your face, and make them pop out, stand out, or sit better in the mix. If you have nothing else, that EQ, that compressor, those two combinations alone is going to make your mix sound 10 times better. Just even with the EQ, EQ goes a long way. If you had nothing else, if you had proper EQ on your instruments, proper EQ on your vocals, and you had certain things were cut, boosted, subtracted, added, whatever the case may be, the mix is going to sound good because the EQ is doing its job and adding and subtracting unwanted frequencies, okay? Then you're going to bring in that compression to really help that vocal sit tighter in the mix, or more upfront in the mix, or more balanced in the mix. Now let's talk about the third thing. My go-to effect that I absolutely feel I need in my arsenal of mixes is reverb. And the reverb, why? Because the reverb is going to help me set my vocals in a realistic environment, okay? So for example, if you are in a hallway or if you're in a bathroom, the vocals are going to sound more wet, spaced out, in an open space, okay? So say if you recorded a song and you had a music video to where it was meant to look like you were recording a song inside of a bathroom, you would want the sound, the video, to match the sound as much as possible, right? So you wouldn't want your vocals to sound dry and up front like in a small closet with a whole bunch of padding, or a big room with a whole bunch of furniture and, you know, blankets and room treatment. It wouldn't sound realistic. If you were in outer space, if you were in an airport, you would want the reverb to sound as realistic as possible for the environment that you're in. A lot of times I hear so many recordings to where people are meant to sound like they're in a dry environment when they're rapping their song or singing their song, and they have the reverb level so high that they sound like they're in some auditorium or some concert hall that's so freaking open and wide that their vocals are so wet and spaced out. It doesn't make the mix sound good. It's not a natural sound. Now, I am thinking about this from a basis of if you had absolutely no other plugin whatsoever, what 3 plugins are you going to utilize to get away to at least make your music tolerable for people to listen to? So if you want it to sound like you're in a lounge, then a reverb is going to help you accomplish that. If you want it to sound like you're just in a dry room or a small tight room, reverb is going to help you accomplish that. If you want it to sound like you're in a big open auditorium or a big open cafeteria or bathroom or whatever the case may be, the reverb is going to get that accomplished. So look, guys, what I'm going to do real quick is just go ahead and cut off any of the EQs, compression, things like that, to go ahead and get this mix so you can hear what the mix sound like without any of the EQs and a compression and a reverb. Check it out.
Try to do this right, 'cause I've been here before. I just wanna make sure I'm not repeating what I've been through. Don't wanna bring my baggage into makes me high.
Now the song still sounds decent, right? But it can sound so much better with some EQ and some compression. So check it out. Let's go ahead and introduce some of the EQ. Here we go.
Try to do this right, 'cause I've been here before. I just wanna make sure I'm not repeating what I've been through.
If you notice with the EQ, it got a lot brighter. The vocals really opened up. That muddiness left. That muddiness left the recording. Check it out one more time. So I'm gonna cut it off. Listen.
Try to do this right, 'cause I've been here before.
Now turn it on.
I just wanna make sure I'm not repeating what I've been through. Don't wanna bring
That EQ is making those vocals stand out in this mix because there's a lot going on with the 808s and other instruments in the track. Now let's go ahead and introduce the compression to make the vocals stand out even more.
Try to do this right, cause I've been here before. I just wanna make sure.
And I'm just gonna tell you real quick. So I'm using one compressor to control her vocals, okay? And then I'm using another compressor to basically bring the vocals out a little bit more and make them pop out. And then I'm using an overall compression to basically balance all the vocals as a whole so they're more mellowed out, if that makes sense, okay? So check it out.
Try to do this right, cause I've been here before. I just wanna make sure I'm not repeating what I've been through. Don't wanna bring my baggage into. Makes me high every time I think of you.
Okay, so you hear what the compression is doing. Now with some reverb.
Try to do this right, cause I've been here before. I just wanna make sure I'm not repeating what I've been through. Don't wanna bring my baggage into.
So guys, the biggest beauty of that is that reverb with that EQ making the vocals stand out a little bit more, giving them the clarity that they need, with the compression being able to bring my vocals to the front, tighten them up, balancing them out, and then with the reverb allowing my vocals to separate itself through space. I feel like that's what you definitely need when you want to get a good mix. Now, everything else that I add in there, delays and all kind of stereo wideners and all these other things, that's more of a creative thing when it comes to my engineering skills. But for me, if I had absolutely nothing else, there was no other plugins in the world, you give me the EQ, compression, and some reverb, and I guarantee you that I'll make your song tolerable enough for people to want to listen to. So that's it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. If you agree that those 3 plugins should be in your mixing tools, please go ahead and leave me some comments and let me know exactly how you feel and why you feel that way. If you disagree, I would love to know what 3 plugins that you guys think that absolutely needs to be in your mixing tools. Other than that, guys, I truly appreciate you guys supporting my videos. Please continue to hit that subscribe button. Show me some love. Also, my new single, Zombie, just dropped. Guys, I'm going to be doing a giveaway to anybody who goes and purchase that song and show me proof of it on all digital stores from iTunes, Spotify, whatever the case may be. Guys, please go check that video out. Go check that song out. Please share it with your friends and family. I will be doing a giveaway for everybody who supports me. Just let me know that you bought it, you supported me, whatever the case may be. You will have a chance to win the prize that I have in the giveaway. Guys, thank you for supporting my videos, and I have a bunch of new content coming. So as always, stay tuned for the next video.
Sure, I'm not repeating what I've been through. Don't wanna bring my baggage into.